Mourning in Madison.
Tell me how you're feeling right now real quick.
Oh, terrified.
You know, my husband called me and he was crying, so that's why I was so scared.
3 are dead, and multiple others are in the hospital right now.
This has obviously rocked our school community, but we know it affects not just our school community, but Madison.
Team coverage at 10 begins now on the shooting at Abundant Life Christian School.
It has been a long 11 hours for many in our community tonight as we learn new details about what happened today at Abundant Life Christian School.
This is video of a vigil in Middleton tonight where the community came together to support each other. We're going to get more of that in just a moment here.
Community already coming together, but first we really do want to get to new information we just learned from Madison Police. Thanks for joining us after one of the longest days the Madison community has seen. I'm Mark McPherson.
And I'm Mackenzie Davis. 3 people are dead and multiple are still in the hospital with injuries. In just the last hour and a half, police shared more about the shooter and some of what happened inside the school today.
WMTV's Tabitha Bland has been following updates from police for us all day today. And Tabitha, we actually learned a second grader called 911 when the call came into law enforcement.
Yeah, exactly what you said, Mark. You know, it's been a very, very long day for a lot of people, including MPD. They did give us that information after long hours of press conferences. We finally got a breakdown about some of the key individuals today. They were able to identify the shooting suspect as a 15-year-old at Abundant Life Christian School, as well as they shared some information about speaking with their parents. But one of those key players, like you said, was a second grader that made the call.
We're doing our 3rd press conference of the day to get the actual truth out to what has happened.
Nearly 12 hours ago, MPD responded to a 911 call.
A 2nd grade student called 911 at 10:57 a.m.
On the other line was a 2nd grade student.
Don't let that soak in for a minute. A 2nd grade student.
Now, law enforcement has spoken with the parents of the shooting suspect.
We're currently speaking with the father at one of our facilities, trying to determine what he may knew or may not have known about what happened today.
And search their home.
They're still going through evidence in the home, and so we do not have a complete list of the things that were collected from the home. Again, that was done with the consent of the parents.
The motive, that is still the looming question for many in Madison on this devastating day.
We're not going to rush the information. We'll take our time and make sure that we do our due diligence in doing that.
Chief Barnes mentioned again that they are going to take their time and do their due diligence with this investigation, which is why we are leaving you tonight with some questions unanswered. But our team will work to find those answers for you in the days that come. There will be a press conference in this exact room tomorrow at 1 p.m. to hopefully find out more about the conversations that MPD had with the suspect's parents today. But for now, in Madison, Tabitha Bland, WMTV 15 News.
Tabitha, thank you for that new information. Now, here's a look at where everything happened today. The shooting happened at Abundant Life Christian School, which is on East Buckeye Road in Madison. SSM Health Dean Clinic at 1821 South Stoughton Road is the reunification location for parents, families, and students. Officials at SSM Health St. Mary's Hospital confirmed they received patients from the school, but are not giving out other information at this time.
Madison police say a house on the north side is connected to this shooting investigation.
WMTV's Shannon Ajawan continues our team coverage. She's at the address and joins us live with what we know so far about this investigation.
Mark, Mackenzie, MPD says they don't believe they've had any prior interactions with the shooter. Chief Sean Barnes says the 15-year-old girl did not breach the school today. She was already in a study hall with several other students of many different ages when the shooting happened. I'm currently standing on the 1300 block of Delaware Boulevard next to a home authorities, including ATF and FBI, have been investigating for several hours. We just learned that it is the home of the 15-year-old's parents. We were not given any information as to what police found inside of the home, but several of them remain on scene, and we're hoping to learn more details soon. But for now, reporting live in Madison, Shannon Ajawan, WMTV 15 News.
All right, Shana, thank you. And as you can imagine, this is going to hit a lot of people hard. Community leaders say they work quickly to create a space for people grieving tonight.
A pastor in Middleton says some of his congregation has family members that attend the school. WMTV's Cameron Kelly joins us live from Black Hawk Church in Middleton, where a candlelight vigil was held. Cameron, you spoke to the pastor who led those services tonight.
That's right, I did, and tears were shed. People hugged one another, and they comforted one another during the service. Almost every seat was filled in the building, and the pastors that I spoke with said that they just wanted to bring a sense of comfort to the community. The pastor prayed a little bit, and then people broke up into groups to talk and pray with one another. Heartache, grief, and burdens.
To be able to come before God with our pain and our hurt, and to know that He meets us in those moments.
Black Hawk Church in Middleton opened their arms and doors for the community after 3 people died and multiple were injured in a shooting at Abundant Life Christian School.
We pulled together last minute an opportunity just for people from the community, regardless of where they're at spiritually, to be able to come together and come before a God who understands pain and sorrow.
Pastor Matt Metzger and other leaders in the Christian church spent the afternoon at the Reunification Center comforting members of their congregation.
They're dealing with reality that no parent, no family ever wants to have to go to.
Families facing the unimaginable before the holiday season.
You know, kids are all looking forward to, winter break and all of the different things that come up in a time like this, and to be dealing with tragedy is unbelievably difficult. We ask that you would be the one to lead us and guide us as we spend time lifting these different things up to you. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Before hearing today's devastating news, church officials told me that they were already planning to have a church service tomorrow, and that service is called Blue Christmas, and that focuses on helping people during the holiday season who are grieving or just having a hard time. If you missed tonight's service, there will be a service tomorrow night, the Blue Christmas service at 7 p.m. Live in Middleton, Cameron Kelly, WMTV 15 News.
Thanks, Cameron. And the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County will also hold a candlelight vigil tomorrow to provide comfort and support for the community. The vigil will be at 6 p.m. at Vel Phillips statue on the state capitol grounds. Local leaders, including the Madison mayor and MMSD school superintendent, will be there. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County is also organizing efforts to support the youth and families impacted by this tragedy.
MMSD released a statement earlier today regarding the shooting and says the district was shocked by this tragedy, and they're thinking of those who were injured and killed in this shooting. Part of that statement reads, quote, "This unimaginable tragedy impacts not just one school, but all of us in the greater Madison community. No one should face these complex emotions in isolation. As a community bound by mutual respect and compassion, we urge everyone to continue looking out for one another, to offer kindness, and to keep the Abundant Life Christian School community in your thoughts." MMSD says they will continue classes as normal tomorrow. They also say there will be resources available to support students, families, and staff.
And an organization known as Everytown for Gun Safety Support Fund says there have been 5 reported shootings on school grounds this year. That data does not include today's shooting. 2 people died and 1 was injured in those previous shootings. Last year there were 3, resulting in 1 death. In 2022 there were 5 incidents, which resulted in a death and 5 injuries.
As new conversations begin on how to prevent these school shootings, Madison Mayor Santia Rhodes Conway says the most important thing at this time is support for the victims and their families.
First and foremost, what needs to be the priority for all of us is supporting our young people. And that is where our community's attention needs to turn at this point in time.
And those resources, here are some of them on your screen right now that are available to you. The 211 phone hotline offers confidential information on mental health and other services. And the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is available 24/7 by phone or over text. We do have links to some additional resources right now posted on our website at WMTV15news.com.
And of course, navigating your emotions after a school shooting can be difficult for anyone. And after today's events, your children might have questions. We talked with a health psychologist with SSM Health about what you as a parent can do and say after a day like this. So first, you should keep explanations of tragic events age appropriate. The younger the child, the more generic you should keep the conversation. You should also remind children of all the safety measures that are already in place and the support that is available. And creating a safe space for kids to lead the conversation, also important.
When a tragedy like this happens, psychologically our brains just go on high alert. And so the adults' brains are on high alert, the kids' brains are on high alert. And so what we know is that healing can happen when we can calm the brain and to kind of cope through some of these traumas.
And of course, it's also normal for parents to feel anxious during this time. It had to be a difficult day for a lot of parents. Arnold recommends talking about those feelings with someone you trust and practicing the same strategies you use with your kids. Flags will fly at half-staff statewide to honor the victims of today's shooting. Here's a look at the Capitol. Live look right now. Governor Tony Evers ordered the flags lowered through this Sunday. Evers says he's praying for the kids, educators, and the entire Abundant Life school community. Make sure you get the 15 News app for your phone. It's free to download. We'll send you updates as soon as we learn more about today's shooting and the status of those injured. We'll send that straight to your phone.
Well, new at 10, Monona police say a man was arrested earlier today after a gun was found in the parking lot at Monona Grove High School. Police found the loaded gun during an after-school activity. After reviewing security footage, police were able to identify the man and later found him riding his bike. The suspect told police that it was his gun, but he was just riding through the parking lot on his bike. Police say the suspect is a convicted felon and that he was under the influence.
Let's switch gears now and get a look at the weather. It was a very damp, cold day out there today.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, kind of a gloomy start to the work week. We're expecting more clouds and active weather in the days ahead, but with colder conditions moving in, it looks like the next 2 precipitation chances will be snow. And I want to give you a first alert that tomorrow night and into Wednesday, a quick hitting system may bring us up to 1 inch. The one on Thursday and into Friday, a little bit stronger, but still some questions on this one and where it will track. But it does look like it could once again bring us some additional light snow. It won't be tonight. Skies are trying to clear, but won't have a lot of success. We're going to dip down into the upper 20s, so back below freezing with all the dampness and moisture around. Anything that looks wet tomorrow morning could be on the icy side. We will, of course, take a much closer look at these snow chances. It's all coming up in your full First Alert forecast.
Hughes, thank you. Next at 10, politicians across the state reacting to today's deadly shooting here in Madison.
We don't extend action. We don't do something about it.
What politicians on both sides of the aisle are saying in reaction to today's tragedy.
Plus, it's been a long day here in Madison. Something to smile about coming up a little bit later in our newscast.
Politicians from all over the state are reacting to the news of the tragic shooting at Abundant Life Christian School that left multiple people dead this morning.
Our State Capitol Bureau Chief Vanessa Kelson gives us the recap of what our representatives are saying.
Elected officials, from state representatives to U.S. senators to President Joe Biden, have been sharing their thoughts and condolences with the victims and survivors of the day's shooting.
There's a lot of different things out there that's in legislation that would make it harder for people who shouldn't have access to guns to have access that we can do. And we simply don't, as politicians at the state or federal level, seem to have the backbone.
The state's top Republican, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, also released a statement writing, quote, "Today's tragedy is shocking, senseless, and heartbreaking," and, quote, "There are no words to adequately express condolences to those who have lost loved ones." As usual, there are clear partisan divides in the reactions to the news. Republicans mostly offer those thoughts, prayers, and condolences to those affected, and gratitude to the first responders and medical teams. Meanwhile, Democrats offer similar thoughts and also demand action, hoping today's tragedy will be the catalyst for tomorrow's change, wanting stricter gun laws. For now, in Madison, Vanessa Kelson.
And President Joe Biden has been briefed on the shooting here in Madison today as well. The White House says they are in touch with local counterparts in Madison to provide support as needed.
I want to stick with politics for a minute. Tomorrow, Wisconsin's political electors will meet to cast Wisconsin's 10 electoral votes for President-elect Donald Trump. The state's 10 votes correspond with 2 senators and 8 congressional districts. In Wisconsin, whoever wins the popular vote in the state gets all of those electoral votes. We'll have coverage of the event tomorrow at the state capitol. New information now at 10. A Madison alder who was arrested last week appears to be out of jail. Charles Miatze appeared in Dane County Court for a bond hearing. It was very short, and the judge ruled he could not have contact with the victim in this case. Miatze is facing multiple charges, including alleged battery and substantial bodily harm. This arrest comes after an investigation in November into sexual harassment allegations.
Well, the Columbia County Sheriff's Office says a high-speed chase on I-90-94 left a car in the partially frozen Baraboo River this morning. Take a look at this photo. Deputies say the car was driving recklessly on the wrong side of the road. The man eventually drove off the road into the river and then swam away from deputies. They were able to get him safely out of the water before arresting him.
And now, your first alert forecast from 15 News.
All right, want to give you that first alert to the next big thing I'm keeping an eye on. This will be tomorrow night and into Wednesday morning. Quick hitting light snow event, emphasis on light, but could kind of linger into the morning commute, which could be a little problematic. Even a little coating of snow on the roadways, we know could cause a lot of problems. So maybe a few extra minutes as you're heading out the door Wednesday morning. Remember, this is storm number 1. There's a second storm system, perhaps a stronger one, as we head into Thursday night, and very early Friday morning. So kind of a few systems back to back here as we head through the rest of this week. Right now, we're looking at 39 degrees in Madison. It feels like 36. The dew point's at 30. Winds are calming down after some gustier conditions. 7-day forecast, that snow tomorrow night into Wednesday. I have Wednesday and Thursday highlighted in red for the snow. That next chance Thursday and into Friday. The ups and downs we've been experiencing so far this December continue on as we look for highs this weekend only into the low 20s. Overnight lows dipping back down into the single digits. Looks cold through early next week. There are signs it warms up around Christmas, so we'll see if we can get enough snow and keep it on the ground through Christmas. Right now, it's not 0, but it's a little iffy.
Santa has time to decide whether he's going to do the sleigh or with the wheels on it.
Exactly.
So he's still got time. Right. All right, Dukes,
Thank you.
Well, here's a look at tonight's winning numbers. We'll be right back.
Well, it's been a long day, so here are some things to smile about on your Monday evening. A family in eastern North Dakota has turned their home into a massive Christmas display. Wow. Look at that. There are plenty of Christmas ornaments, holiday trinkets, and of course, a Christmas tree inside the home. This home once stood as a schoolhouse, actually, built more than a century ago.
Wow.
Look at that.
No place cool. Yeah, that was really cool. They have their own little town in there.
Yeah.
Oh, dang, look at that.
Well, a fresh start for one couple in Colorado. Clarence Louie, who is active duty military, and Stephanie, a former military nurse, met more than a decade ago. Since then, it's been a roller coaster for the two of them. A year ago, Stephanie was diagnosed with brain cancer. The two got married in Vegas years ago, but Clarence always wished he could give Stephanie the wedding she deserved. So he applied to Wish Upon a Wedding, a nonprofit, along with over a dozen other businesses, and they finally made it.
That is so cute.
That is gorgeous.
They look very happy, too. Congratulations.
Well, it's not Santa's workshop, but it's pretty close. It's the home basement studio in Queens of gingerbread artist John Lovitch. He's a full-time gingerbread man. Here, cracked and damaged gingerbread are on the operating table. His gingerbread lane is the Guinness World Record holder for the largest gingerbread village, now on display inside the shops at Columbus Circle. There's a New York taxi, a newsstand, and a subway car. For Lovitch, seeing guests charmed and intrigued is worth the year-round effort.
Wow.
That's awesome.
You gotta have a sweet tooth to run something like that.
Yes, you do. After trying different sports, 13-year-old Tate scored with one at his last game with the junior high basketball team in Texas. Tato is a 7th grader with autism. He loves to play basketball, and over the weekend he scored his first ever basket. Woo! This shot is something his family and his team will ever forget. His parents are just happy seeing him on the court. This team and the sport gives him a sense of belonging, giving him an opportunity Tate's family is grateful for.
He was so happy to hit that bucket.
That
Love
is awesome.
Look at that.
Oh
That's
my
great.
goodness.
Yeah, he's playing hard too.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. Well, if it looks or sounds too good to be real, it often is. And that's sort of the draw to an exhibition in London called Looks Delicious. It's a vast array of highly realistic food replicas, the kind that are commonly displayed in front of restaurants in Japan, intended to lure customers inside. The replicas are made by the Iwasaki Group. It was the first company dedicated to producing these replica foods and remains the largest producer in Japan today. That one,
yeah,
it looks good.
Yeah.
Looks delicious.
It does. And that runs through mid-February. Until then, exhibition visitors can feast their eyes, but that's where the feast ends. Don't want to eat it.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
I probably still would. Hey, the Super Noah hockey game takes place tomorrow night, and you're invited. We'll hear from the GOAT. Yeah, Super Noah next in sports.
And now, sports from 15 News.
Hello again, everybody. Whenever the Middleton and Madison West boys hockey teams get together, it's always pretty awesome. But tomorrow night, it becomes extra special as it becomes part of the 7th annual Super Noah game. The Super Noah game is taking place Tuesday night at 7:45 at the Legacy 20 Ice Arena, formerly Bob Suter's Capitol Ice Arena in Middleton, and is inspired by the journey of Noah Sanger, who began his battle with leukemia before his 5th birthday. Since then, the Super Noah game has raised over $100,000, with all proceeds going directly to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. This year's game hopes to raise even more money with raffles and other fundraisers to fund research, treatments, and support for those affected by cancer.
I think it's really important to me because I really like giving back to my community and just helping wherever needed. And I also love playing hockey, so this game kind of combines both of them. And to be able to give back to a great cause is just really important to me, and I think it's a really cool thing.
It's just a really cool experience being around, supporting a great cause like the LLS, and being able to be around in the community and give back is just really cool, and it's going to be fun playing some hockey.
You met Noah before, Noah Sanger.
Yeah.
Well, why is he an inspiration?
Just because for me, he's played with my little brother, and I've always helped coach him. He's a great kid, and he's been through so much that helping him in the foundation so much would mean so much to him.
Well, the 3 captains of the Middleton hockey team will be there. You know who else will be there? Yeah, Noah Sanger. And while I'd love to tell you all about it, and we want you to be there as well, who better to tell you to show up at 7:45 tomorrow than Super Noah himself, the GOAT, to help you raise money for LLS.
Yeah, we've been doing it for 7 years. I love that it's fun, first of all, and we can just, it helps raise money for people that get diagnosed with this type of cancer, leukemia, lymphoma. So I'm just hoping helps for other kids not have to go through what I had to go through. Yeah, I've been thinking about this. As I get older, go to college and stuff, pass it on to another kid that I know that has cancer.
Why is that important to you?
Because I just want this event to keep going as long as it possibly can, because it's a very fun and good event to have.
You are a great kid, Super Noah. All right, we'll see you at 7:45 tomorrow at the Middleton Ice Arena. That's it for sports. We're right back.
All right, we're looking at a chance of light snow this time tomorrow night and into Wednesday, and also Thursday, perhaps lasting into early Friday. Neither of those look overly impactful, but lasting into the morning commute, you know, that could lead to some slick roadways, and then pretty chilly for the weekend.
Yeah, take it slow out there. Some slick roads.
Yeah. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll have much more on the events of today tomorrow morning.
Good night.
15 News is streaming on all your devices. Powered by TDS. 15 News. Connected to you.